Hey guys, welcome to another week of a WoW Weekly with Myst. And this week we have Midsummer, which will be running all the way through July 5th. You can get a bunch of achievements with this. And I'm just going to go over Midsummer for a minute with you guys because Midsummer is different depending on which version of WoW you play, classic or retail. So one thing I thought I would mention for the retail is that you can do a ribbon dance. You'll see it. It's you'll see people like going around a pole basically, and while it may look like they're just doing it for the hell of it, there is an actual reason for it, and that is because you can get experience gain from killing monsters from it. So you could use this as, something similar to the Dark Moon buff, and it will stack with the Winds of Wisdom that we currently have. So that is one big thing to know for the retail version. Other than that, there's nothing new on the vendor list, so it's all the same items as it was last year. And same achievements and all that. If you missed it last year, then one of the newest things was the BFA achievements. And also they had added the Hearthstone in. So that is what's going on with that one for retail. Also keep in mind that you can go in to a quick 5-minute queue for the slave pens daily. And you will get roughly like 10 to 15 currency for your items. And you can also get a pet. There's a chance of a pet drop in there as well. Now, for Classic, basically, you can do that ribbon dance as well over there. And what that does for Classic is it'll increase your fire resistance by 30. You'll also get the Fire Festival Fury, which increases your crit chance and your spell crit chance by 3%. And then there is also some stat food, which is the Fire Toasted Bun, which on use will increase your chance to hit by 2% for an hour. And also worth noting that there is bracers that you can get. They're called Cinder Bracers. And basically on use, you can summon a Cinder Elemental that will protect you for 10 minutes. So there is that one as well. It's a 10-minute cooldown. And that's basically the notable stuff there. The Captured Flame pet can also be over on Classic as well, so you do also have that. Captured Flame is what it will be as like when you loot it, but the pet itself is called the Spirit of Summer. And that's basically a, quickened explanation of Midsummer for both retail and Classic. Okay, so on to what else is going on for the week. Midsummer is obviously the main attraction for the week, but we will also have PvP Brawl, Temple of Hot Mogu, and Time Walking is back for this week, and it will be Burning Crusade, which of course means that will include a raid as well, so you can do the dungeons for the weekly quest, and then you can also do the raid for another quest. Okay, so for progression, we'll start with the rep stuff. So the rep stuff may not look too progressed since last week, but I'm still close on stuff. I have been out doing more of the Rajani and Aldum stuff, but you don't really notice a huge difference until I hand in like an assault. But Aldum Accord is getting there. We're basically halfway there. And Rajani is, it's doing better. It was only like 300 into Revered at the beginning of the week. So it is getting there. Still won't be exalted by next WoW Weekly, but we'll be getting close. Yeah. Like I've said before, I don't do them daily. I only do them when I still have the assault active. So it goes a little slower, and that's just because I want to do other stuff. I got achievements that I'm going after and a bunch of other things. Next rep was the rep for my Death Knight over on Horde side, and that one's honestly, I haven't really been on the Death Knight much this week. So not a whole lot has gone done, but Zandalari for sure will be exalted in next WoW Weekly. The reason I say that is because I'm actually waiting on the Zandalari right now, because there is an emissary up there right now. And then there's an assault for Zandalari on Monday. I'm recording this on Sunday. So Monday morning, the assault will happen. So that's when I plan on doing that one. And that'll be a ton of rep because of the two together. So that one should put me to exalted or close to it. And sometime through the week, there'll be another Zandalari emissary. So that one for sure will get done. And maybe even honor bound. We'll have to see. I only really do honor bound when it's an assault I care about. So, which realistically, I guess should be every assault because I'm still going after a lot of rep there. But yeah. So with any luck, maybe the two of those will be exalted. And the rest are just kind of, if I get it, I get it. But those are the two main ones because of the allied race. Okay, so now what have I done leveling wise? I have done a lot of leveling this past week. The hunter, I'm trying to remember what level I was last week. It was in the 80s though, like 80, 81, something like that. I leveled her to 91. She would have gotten to 100, which was one of the weekly goals. But I'll tell you why she didn't. It's because since she's replacing my current jewel crafter, I wanted her to have the panther mounts like my jewel crafter right now has. And so I thought I'd, kill two birds with one stone and make sure she doesn't leave Panda without that exalted rep. As some of you guys may know, rep is super easy in Panda Land. If you've done it on a main character or even just one character, you open up a bonus. So every daily you do that issues it, you'll get bonus rep from it. And there's also a dungeon you can do once a day that issues you the rep as well. So with that said, she's actually exalted with that rep. So I'm getting ready to move her out. Normally, if she wasn't going after that rep, I would have moved her over to WAD when she hit level 90. But because I wanted that out of the way, I kept her there till 91. But yeah, it did not take long to get that rep to exalted. So that's awesome. She has the patterns for the panther mounts now, and yeah, so that was great. It was one thing I really didn't want to move the Alliance Jewel Crafter off of the server until she at least had that, And yeah, so she is still the goal. We will get her to 100 this week. It's going to be a breeze to do that because she's 91. I'm going to bring her in WAD. WAD is the fastest leveling out of all the expansions. So yeah, it's going to be no problem there. So next up we have Mystical, which is my Lightforged Arena Shadow Priest. And basically, since I was kind of slowing the pace down a bit with the hunter so that she could get the rep needed for the mounts, I needed someone else to, use my time wisely to level. So I chose the priest, who was level 40 at the beginning of the week. So got the priest 22 levels this week. And yeah, and she is going to be part of this week's goals. I also would like to get her to 100. And then we have Mr. Roni, who we haven't seen in a while. And yeah, I had felt pretty comfortable where she was sitting at, and I just kind of stopped leveling her for a bit. But I would like to get her 6 more levels so that she can start taking advantage of the Legion invasions. So also a goal this week to get her to 100 as well. So it sounds like a lot, guys, but it's really not that bad. We have the Mystic Void, who's level 91. The goal is to get 9 levels on that character. That can be done in like one night. The Warlock, Mr. Roni, over on Horde side, is level 94. The goal is 100. 6 levels. That can be done in one night. Like, honestly, those 2 characters could be done in the same night. And then the bigger goal is the priest. So the priest is sitting at 62. Yeah, the priest is sitting at 62. Get her to 100. So that one is definitely the majority of the goal. And yeah, so that is my goals for this week. I might do time walking, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah. But as far as what am I committing to, we're just committing to the leveling. And as far as the rep for Rajani and Alda McCord and, the Horde rep, the Alliance rep, as long as anything gets done, I know I'm not going to hit Exalted with that rep this week, so we're just putting progress on it. But for the Horde rep, I would like to hit Exalted with Zandalari and Honorbound this week, so that is the goal over there. And that completes the goal list. So let's move on to news. Okay, so our news for this week basically is all involving Classic WoW. The first piece is that Blizzard suspended 74,000 accounts, which basically equals $1.1 million for a month worth. And yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Those included Classic WoW and some of Retail WoW for China. So yeah, definitely a big one. That was for botting, and there's been a lot of stuff on Reddit regarding the botting. And yeah, I just find it funny how they just suspend the accounts. You would think if it's a serious enough offense that they're gonna do that, why not just delete those accounts? Like, once they're done being suspended, they'll probably just do it again. Honestly, they've probably already made new accounts and are already doing it again, Like, yeah. I find, while I'm happy that they take enough initiative to try to fix things, I feel like it's a never-ending battle. Personally, I'm always surprised when they actually ban people and shit like that, because the fact that they have allowed multi-boxing in retail for so many years, I've just come to the conclusion that Blizzard doesn't care if people cheat. Because that's a huge cheat in my mind, and they actually allow it. It's like, technically, that's not even a problem. Like, multi-boxing is actually allowed in WoW. So I've never really cared about any of the other cheats, because the way my mind works is if they allow that, they'll just allow anything. I've honestly always found multi-boxing to be more of a cheat than anything else I've seen in the game. And the last piece of news pertains to a hotfix they did on the 19th. they had basically made mention that they were going to have a 30 instance per day limit for Classic. Now, I can't say I didn't see that coming. There is an actual limit in retail. I found that limit years ago when I was doing my intense mount farming. Nowadays, I'm a little more caught up on my mount farming, so I don't do as many in one day. But back years ago, I did lots of different dungeons. There was the Deep Home dungeon for a while, Utgard Pinnacle, a bunch of different raids. Like, thankfully, I'm caught up a little more now. But especially with the dungeons, I would notice the limit because you'd have to wait. You'd have to wait a bit. I noticed it a lot with Deep Home because I don't know if it works the same now, but before, because the mount drops in normal mode as well, you could just spam normal mode over and over. So you could literally run it, walk out, reset, run, walk out, reset. And you could do that until the game fucking stops you, right? So yeah. And I remember I did that in one day, and that's the day I got the mount. So I guess I can see why they put a limit to it, because in a sense, I guess that might have been considered a cheat, being able to just spam run that dungeon all day. But yeah, so anyway, nonetheless, there is that 30 instant limit, but they made an update stating that it will not affect the 40-man raids. So there's that. And that is all the news I have for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. Hope you're having fun doing whatever you're doing, whether it be in WoW or in another game. And we will see you in the next one. And actually, before I leave, I just wanted to mention that I did mention in last week's WoW Weekly that I had some Shadowlands stuff for you. I do apologize that it didn't get on the channel this past week. I took a bit of an unexpected 3-day break from YouTube, so that's why there were no videos for a few days. For those that don't know me very well, or know my channel at least, I am a daily uploader, and I take pride in the fact that I've been able to maintain that type of schedule all these years. And I hate to miss days, but I guess I just didn't realize that I needed a break. And yeah, so that's why the Shadowlands stuff didn't get uploaded last week. But it is recorded and all that, so it is definitely going to get uploaded this week. So I hope you enjoy that stuff, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.